Welcome one and all to another Angry Streams. I'm your host AC. What's up, weirdos? How you doing? It is a Wednesday, my dudes. It is 2 days past Christmas. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Whatever you celebrate. We've got some weird things that we're going to talk about today. One of them being just funny. It's just funny. I know it's not military related. It's not police related. Kind of police related because it's got to do with laws. But the UK has banned knives. Now, that's not new, right? Everybody knew that the UK has banned knives already. But a fantastic news article came out where some dude pulls out like a machete, like a weird looking massive Bowie knife that's painted black. I'm surprised he didn't call it an assault knife. He pulls it out on the news while he's getting interviewed by this guy to be like, this is illegal, huh? Ain't it? And this knife's illegal, huh? This is these zombie knives, eh? In the UK, these massive knives called quote-unquote zombie knives, they were being sold on the internet, like Amazon, stuff like that. So criminals, because you can't have a handgun over there, it's completely illegal unless you're the police or the government. Bad guys were just buying these zombie knives that are like machetes, jacked up machetes, the really cheap like dragon knives that you see at like post exchanges that all the new kids in the unit buy. That nonsense. So he pulls it out and they have zombie knives written on the side of it. And, you know, if it's an official zombie knife, it's illegal and it's like a felony, you can get arrested. But if it's just a knife with no markings on it, they can get around the law and they can buy it and they can have it because they haven't made all lives illegal. All lives illegal. All knives illegal. Oh man, all lives illegal just sounds like a really good t-shirt to put out there for whatever political group you want to believe in and support. And whatever thing you want to talk about just, oh my gosh, all lives illegal. I should coin that phrase. That should be the next shirt. All lives are illegal, says so-and-so on the internet. Oh God. Well, let's get the chat. Let's see what everybody's saying in the chat. We are going to go through some stuff like I talked about. We're going to go through the knives. We're going to talk about the DOD put out some sort of new guidance today about extremism. I got to find it. I don't know anything about it. I'm going to be learning it right alongside you. So if it's ridiculous and stupid, then, well, we're gonna learn about it together. And isn't that the whole point of doing live streams and being here on the internet so that we could do shit together as a community? I got a whole bunch of let goes. Let's go weirdos. Hell yeah. I need to make a shirt. Something about like, I'm a weirdo. Just so then we can all find one another, right? I want to make sure that all of us weirdos can find one another. What happens if one of us gets lost? Huh? What if you're not close enough to your battle buddy? We've got to be able to find you. So we need a t-shirt that makes it stand out that you are one of the weirdos. Oh, Michael Anders, you're saying, hey, he called me a leg. It's true. It's a funny story. So I was in civil affairs for a long time, in civil affairs along with psychological operations under use of KPOC. They're airborne, right? So everybody goes to airborne school, everybody jumps out of planes, everybody gets super cool, they get attached to SF guys or line units, and they have a whole bunch of fun, like I did overseas. And of course, eventually I got slotted for airborne school. And my first sergeant, who was enjoyed my company, was like, hey, hi, you're not going to go to airborne school. We're going to get you promoted first. And I was like, no. No, I know how the reserves work. If I get an airborne slot, I need to take it because God knows when I'll get it next. You give me the airborne slot, I'll take my E5 school later on down the road. He's like, nah, man, you and I are going to go to airborne school together. And I was like, oh, top, you're not going to pass. You're not going to pass airborne school. That's not going to happen. You're a great guy. You're looking out for me. I'm very excited that you want to do this together, but you're just physically, I know you're not going to be able to hack it. So right then and there, I knew that my dream for airborne school was gone. And that was it. That was the only time I ever got offered airborne school. And so I am a leg. I was in an airborne unit that had 2 deployments for 8 years and never jumped out of a plane. I had to go join a bunch of special forces guys, retired special forces rangers and 82nd Airborne guys in Florida to jump out of planes. And I actually got my foreign jumpings with them. Some pretty cool guys. Oh, man, what are they called? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking out. The Round Canopy Parachute Team, RCPT. Round Canopy Parachute Team, RCPT. Look up RCPT. We'll do it together. Screw it, right? What's wrong? There's nothing wrong with throwing out some stuff, spreading the word about fantastic veterans organizations. Where's the window capture? Let's get this thing up. Beep, beep, beep. Boom. Skew. Dun, 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 dun. Over to stream. Oop, too many ends. RCPT. Palaca, Florida. Palaca. More than just a jump. So if you, by the way, this isn't for like just military personnel. If you want to jump from and learn from a whole bunch of jump masters, and you want to actually feel what it's like to have, gone through airborne, not gone through airborne school, but to jump out of a plane as if you were a troop in an airborne unit, this is the way to do it. And they got old school prop planes. I jumped out of Blackhawks. Look at this. That's awesome. You jump out of these things. You jump out of helicopters. I jumped out of a Huey. I jumped out of a Huey like 4 times in one day. I was so tired. Cessnas, they got these massive planes that have like the back drop down. You just walk out the back. Super cool. So if you're a civilian or a soldier, if you're retired or you're still in and you want to get your jumps in, certified military jump masters and riggers that are still in, and they'll sign off on your sheet and say, hey, no, he got his jumps in this month. Bibbity bob. You got to pay for it, obviously, but they take care of troops. They jump a bunch of, elderly veterans that are that used to jump, and they're fantastic guys. They're really something else. I had such a great time with them. They got all the old school stuff going on right here, but what's the next event? What's the next event? I'm telling you, if you haven't jumped out of an airplane with a round canopy, low altitude, you just jump out and let the parachute open up. It's fun. It's nerve-wracking the first couple of times. You're like, oh shit, I hope this works. And then it does. And then you're good to go. So what they got? January 12th, Operation Phoenix. Cool. And then the 19th, a packing class. So you can learn how to pack your own chutes. That's fantastic. And then February, packing class, Operation Sand Stakes, March. So January and March, they've got there we go. There's 5th of March. So I'm not sure when the classes are, but they got tons of information. You follow them. I know I do. Because I like jumping with those guys. They were great. I jumped with them last year, I think. Like last year was the last time that I jumped with those guys. AC belt buckles. That's the weirdest. No, I don't think I'll have an AC belt buckle. Oh yeah, Endora Storm. I do have a video of these jumps. If you look at the Angry Cops normal channel, I think I made one video about it. There might be 2. There's possibly 2 where I talk about jumping with the round canopy jump team, and it was a good time. I fell, I dropped, and I went in the opposite direction one time, and I ended up landing on the blacktop between 2 buildings. Landed great PLF, parachute landing fall. Great PLF. Didn't get hurt at all. Totally fine. But right in between 2 buildings. Almost landed on the roof. Kind of wish I would have landed on the roof, but also it was kind of cool that I was able to steer it between the 2 buildings that were very close. But all right, first story. Let's talk about Great Britain and knives, shall we? Let's talk about one of what used to be one of the greatest empires in the world. And now they're screaming on the news about how afraid of knives they are. Let's talk about zombie knives. New zombie knife. Police powers to tackle violence. No. Let's see. You know what? I think it's on YouTube. Look on YouTube. It was everywhere. YouTube. British News. Where is it? There's such a good clip. They got zombie knives. It was just the other day. Unless it's an old video that's just making the runaround. Like right now. Oh, I wish... Yeah, Mitch, the crack house is still a thing. It's just taking forever right now. It's all the small touch-ups. Nobody wants to see crown molding go in or floor molding go in. But yeah, the crack house is still around. Oh, it was recently. It's September 28th. What is a zombie knife? Oh, let's talk about UK Reporter. Is this it? No, this is with Piers Morgan. No, I don't want it. Well, after a knife crime interview. Oh, where is it? I'm trying to find it, gang. Trying to find it. There is a video. So if you, I don't think you can post links in the chat yet because the channel's new. So I'm like limited on what I can do. I can't do all the cool stuff. Like there's no super chats or anything like that yet. So there you go. There's a zombie knife, right? They're like large knives. Vigilante by night. Oh my God, I can't even watch this. Can't we?
But they want to relieve themselves.
Yeah, they want to relieve.
Wait, where are you?
Relieve themselves, but they're scared as well.
Pressure.
Like for instance, I can't talk too much, yeah, but you're gonna see it soon because I've done something with Ross Kemp, yeah, and mate, listen, they just be. I think needs to be better facilities, yeah. For disposing and more confidentiality and trust between.
Well, I remember when I ran the Daily Mirror, we ran a knife amnesty, and it was actually very successful.
And I think
a lot of knives were handed in.
But you know why? Where did you run that through?
Daily Mirror.
But that's why. It's because it's not the police. I'm not trying to slag the police off, but there's a different trust with the. Do you know what I'm saying, Piers?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Listen, I think it's a conversation that's got to keep taking place.
Yeah, we gotta keep talking about. Eventually, we can take away all the knives, and then when they sharpen the spoons, we'll take away the spoons. And then when everybody starts getting stabbed with forks, we gotta take away the forks. And then once we take away the forks, and the only thing we have are chopsticks, and people start getting stabbed with chopsticks, well, metal chopsticks, and then we'll have breakaway chopsticks, and then we'll just get rid of them because now it's a pointy stick, right? Then now it's even worse. Does anybody know in the chat where that frickin' thing is? Is it on TikTok? I know I saw it. Okay. Somebody had it posted earlier about knives. Oh man, who posted it? Yeah, knife hands are going to be outlawed after this. If I promote someone to moderator, they can post links in the chat. I'll have to do that. But if you know where it is, just don't put the link in the chat because they'll delete it. But just say, hey, it's on Daily News or it's on this thing. Oh, man, I want to find it so bad. Because this dude is just wielding around this massive black knife. And the guy that's interviewing him is like, he's like, would you be afraid? Wouldn't you be afraid if I had this knife coming and walking towards you? And then the interviewer's like, oh, I'd be scared for my life. I'd be bloody scared for my life. Don't believe you're going to come up to bits. There we go. Zombie knives. There we go. Zero Dark 30. It's already here. Was it LBC exposes knife law loophole? Here we go. Speaking, it'll happen. LBC exposes. Let's see if we can get the longer interview here.
LBC seems to be losing their mind.
Oh no. I don't want to hear you talk about it, man. I just want to watch it. Like I want to watch like the entire interview. I don't want to watch like a snippet of it because I want to shit on it. I want to shit on it, but I want to shit on the whole thing. I want to be educated. Come on. Twitter. Is it just the 1 minute? Is it just the Vicky, I don't care. You're killing me. So there's the knife. It's over a foot long. Like, what are their measuring sticks go to? What do their rulers go to in school? Like, ours to go to a foot. Did theirs go to like 30 centimeters? 50 centimeters? I want to look at it now. Sweet. Here we go. Last government over knife. That's not Sarah Jones. I can't see the knife. Oh, that's the London mayor.
Have a look at this.
Have a look at this.
I'm now brandishing in front of you a 21-inch, brutal-looking black knife. It is sharp, believe you me.
Terrifying.
It is terrifying.
Terrifying.
If someone approached me with that, I would think it was the end of my days.
It is one of the most scary things that I've ever held in my hand.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it.
That's the scariest thing.
I bought this online for £23.49.
Sounds like a steal.
Entirely legally.
Good.
It's sent to
And
this
all because
studio.
of the script or writing.
It has got no writing on it.
It's got no writing.
If that had writing on it that said Zombie Hunter 5000, it would be illegal.
Oh,
Because
words.
it doesn't, it is completely legal.
Oh.
So you've done nothing illegal, so you can sit in that studio opposite me with that 20-inch knife, which would kill me in seconds if you,
Kill
absolutely.
several people.
In seconds.
It is terrifying. But it gets worse, Nick, I'm afraid, because I've heard from several police sources, in fact, this is where the story was alerted to us, that they're turning up to raids on the properties of known violent criminals.
Uh-oh.
They're finding knives just like this.
No.
But because
You're telling me, guys, it's almost like criminals don't follow laws. Oh, no. Oh, they're going to criminals' homes and they're finding things that criminals shouldn't have. The first word that might give you a little bit of a giveaway there is criminal, right? They don't care. They don't follow rules. So, yeah. And, like, what's going to... you go on a ferry, or isn't there, like, an underground tube where you can go to, like, different countries because Europe is so, like, together that you could just go from the UK to, I don't know, anywhere in Europe, just drive there and be like, oh, I need to buy, like, 50 samurai swords. And then you bring them back, and now you've got a bunch of samurai swords. What do you do with a populace that can't protect itself? Like, everybody has to box because they can't carry a knife. Because what happens if this happens? You know, what are you going to do? I mean, I'm not going to lie. If somebody tried to come at me with that knife, I would be betting that thing would be dull as shit because they just took it from Amazon and didn't sharpen it. And then you go, okay, when can I tackle and beat the shit out of this guy? Because all you got to do is control the one arm. I'm not saying that fighting somebody with a knife is easy, right? I'm not saying that you're not going to get cut. I'm not going to say I am some ungodly man who can beat the shit out of somebody wielding a knife. But if it's just some schmuck, not some instructor that knows how to knife fight and does, defensive tactics and, well, if you just come at me like that, I'm just going to come over here and stab you. Like, no, I'm just talking about some dickhead in the street that doesn't have any knife fighting training. He's just like, give me your fucking wallet, eh? Hey, I need me 2 pence, eh? Hey, I'll poke you. I'll put a hole in you, mate. You'd be like, okay. Here's my wallet. Tackle. Pin hand to ground. Elbows. Hammer fists. Elbows. Hammer fists. And I'm not saying it's that easy, but I am saying you've taken every way for your populace to defend itself away. And now you have a defenseless populace. What about you go to school shooting? Yeah, I know. We have to deal with the hands that were dealt.
because there is no writing on the knives, the police can do nothing.
Isn't that that dude, listen, this is the way that it is in the world. Stupid laws by people who don't know dick about laws. Making laws. People who don't know anything about anything making laws. And this is what it is. So he's saying that that knife is legal because it doesn't have any writing on it. Like Poop Slayer, Turd Cutter 5000, Zombie Knife, XLT. So because it's just a knife that happens to be big, you can buy it. But if you had zombie written on the side of it, well, then therefore it's like this. It's meant to hunt zombies, which zombies aren't real, so this is actually a trick. Like, you could just buy a zombie knife and then etch out the portion that says zombie knife on it. Now you just got a knife. If you etch out the part that says zombie on the zombie knife, is that like deserializing a firearm? Is that because in the States, if you have a firearm and you take off the serial number, that's illegal. Can't do that. That's like a felony, I think, in every state and everywhere, because obviously you're trying to take away the serial number for nefarious purposes. Like, so is defacing the serial number zombie knife on the side of a knife a felony? Does that mean it's a felony knife? Oh, there you go. Persian knife. What if you scratch out the letters? Exactly. It's exactly what I'm talking about. You read my mind, kid. The law that makes it illegal requires the words zombie or imagery that promotes violence. So if those pictures are placed on the blade, it's illegal. It's a ghost knife. You scratch out. So wait, it's not a zombie knife anymore. It's a ghost knife. Or is it a ghost knife because it can't be tracked because you etched off the word zombies? Which one is it? This is my ghost hunting knife. It's my ghost knife. This is for ghosts. And it.
One police officer described it to me, the legislation, as completely pointless. Now,
no shit.
Also spoken to criminal lawyers who've confirmed.
Law enforcement telling you that a law that you made is fucking dumb. Hey, don't do that law. It's going to do nothing. It stops nothing. There's so many loopholes and ways around it that it's utterly useless. But what do politicians do? They make more laws. And I know, like, I'm not talking about any left-leaning, right-leaning. Think about it. Go to your home state. See how many laws are there. Probably hundreds. Maybe, you count city ordinances and city things. Maybe thousands possibly, right? How many of them have been taken off the books? How many of them are still relevant? How many of them are not relevant and still there? That's how hard it is to take laws off the books. Stop putting new legislation in. New legislation doesn't do anything but hinder everybody's rights, blankets them, dulls them. You want to do something? Get rid of stupid laws.
That the loophole exists. Essentially, if you want the detail, to me, the legislation as completely pointless. Now, we've also spoken to criminal lawyers who've confirmed that the loophole exists. Essentially, if you want the detail, the Offensive Weapons Act 2019 came into force in July last year. And under that, a so-called zombie knife must fit 3 key criteria.
Okay, the 3 key criteria for a zombie knife are as follows. This is what makes it an illegal zombie knife. Get ready for it.
It must have a cutting edge.
Oh no, a cutting edge! Oh God! What knife has those?
You can see there's a cutting edge on this knife. It must have a serrated edge. There's a serrated edge on this knife.
Wait, is that 2 things? A blade, a cutting edge, and a serrated edge? It's like every survival knife out there. And I'm not even talking like big machetes like that. I'm just talking about like normal small knives, fixed blade knives.
But crucially, it must have, and I'm going to quote the legislation,
crucially,
images or words that suggest it is to be used for the purpose of violence. Now, to be completely clear, the loophole only exists in a private setting because possession of a knife like that in public is already illegal under pre-existing other legislation. But nonetheless, that remains legal.
Hold on a second. Wait, I need to listen to that one more time just to make sure what he
now,
said.
To be completely clear, the loophole only exists in a private setting because possession of a knife like that in public is already illegal under...
Okay. So, you already can't have the knife in public. That's illegal in the UK. But you can have the zombie knife at home? Or wait, you can have this knife at home? Now, hold on. I got to one more time.
Suggest it is to be used for the purpose of violence. Now, to be completely clear, the loophole only exists in a private setting because...
Okay, the loophole only exists in a private setting. So that means that if it's that black knife, you can legally purchase it, you can have it in a private setting. But that's the loophole. The loophole is that you can have a knife to, I'll say, defend your home, or just because it's cool because it's a big old knife. You can have that knife without any zombie lettering on it or any things that call a threat to violence. Like, I would guarantee you if there's a skull etched in the side of it, they'd be like, that threatens, that's violence. That's probably violence. So if it's just a normal knife like that, just happens to be big, you can have it in your home. But now they want to get rid of that. I assume they want to get rid of that. God, the British are so weird. They're so weird. So walking around in public, you can't have that knife. Okay. That's your concealed carry of a dangerous weapon. Can't have that knife. But at home you can. And that's the loophole. The loophole is that they're allowed to have these knives at home. Well, guess what? The bad guys don't give a shit if you can have the knife at home. They don't give a shit that you made a law that you can't carry one outside because they're carrying one outside anyway. I just love the beginning. Oh, I'm scared for my life.
I'm now brandishing in front of you a 21-inch, brutal-looking black knife. It is sharp, believe you me.
It's terrifying.
It is terrifying.
It's terrifying. If someone approached me with that, I would think it was the end of my days.
It is one of the most scary things that I've ever held in my hand.
Yeah.
There's no
It tells you how small his dick is.
It is one of the most scary things that I've ever held in my hand.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it.
Horrific.
I bought this online for 23.
What's the scariest thing you've ever held in your hand? I think maybe a grenade, a launcher, my own vomit as I like ran to a bathroom so that I wouldn't throw up in public after like gagging on something. Food. Get your mind out of the gutter. Your ex-wife. The most dangerous thing any man has held in his hand is definitely his ex-wife. That shit takes your house. It's worse than fire, man. Bank accounts, gone. Kids, gone. Car, gone. Your thoughts. A grinder with a saw blade in it. Now you're thinking outside the box. A blade. Oh my gosh. Putting a saw blade on a grinding tool. Can you believe? Oof. What the hell were you cutting, man? Why would you put a saw blade on the end? Like, what? It couldn't have been a big saw blade. Did you put like a full, like, 10-inch, 8-inch blade on that thing? Somebody puts that knife is as heavy as 15 boxes that you might be carrying. Where is that crazy lady?
Are you going to let the greed he...
Shut up, you. I gotta watch it. It's just so good. It's so...
15 in my hand. I wish I had it. It is as heavy as 10 boxes that you might be moving.
That AR-15 is heavy.
I've held an AR-15 in my hand. I wish I had it. It is as heavy as 10 boxes that you might be moving. And the bullet that is utilized, 50 caliber, these kinds of bullets, need to be licensed and do not need to be on the streets.
Yeah.
90%.
When does something being heavy make it dangerous? Like, unless you're bludgeoning somebody with it. Oh, God.
Have a look at this.
Have a look at it. Have a look at that
I'm
knife.
brandishing in front of you.
He's brandishing it.
21-inch.
21-inch. I just love how they're petrified at knives now. They're all so skinny and small because they're malnourished. Do I have any comments on the state of the RCN video? I don't even know what the RCN video is. What's RCN stand for? Republican... RNC is Republican National Committee. Do you mean RNC? They can't have chainsaws. I wonder. Like, wouldn't it be even more terrifying if they had, like, an electrified chainsaw? Like, just put a DeWalt battery in it. Give me your wallet, mate. A battery-powered grinder? I mean, that could be... Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I still need to get an answer to what you were cutting with your freaking... With the Wheel of Death that you made. Junior just like left the chat and let us all hang. It's just, oh yeah. Just gonna put that out there. Are you a liar? Are you saying that that's what you could, that would be the scariest thing that you had? Didn't actually do it. Oh, they do make 4-inch blades. Interesting. Still, what the hell would you use that for? Well, I guess small stuff you cut with a 4-inch blade, whatever. A 50 cal AR. Wow, I'm gonna need one of those. Well, they make them. They make the upper. You're right. He just admitted to brandishing it. I'm not brandishing at you yet. Yet you are. Yet you totally are. Right?
Have a look at this.
This is kind of like one of those moments where somebody goes on the internet and says, I don't want my rifle anymore, and they cut it in half, thus making it a short-barreled rifle, like illegally shortening it because it'll still fire, it'll still shoot. They just cut the barrel short. That's what this guy did. He's saying, I have a knife, and I'm showing it, and I'm flashing it to you, but I'm not brandishing it. Dude, just because you say you're not brandishing that knife doesn't mean you're not brandishing it. It's whatever the victim feels. Whom is super afraid. So like, this is technically a crime in progress that we're watching to UK standards, potentially.
I'm now brandishing in front of you a 21-inch
I'm now brandishing.
brutal-looking black knife. It is sharp. Believe you me,
terrifying.
It is terrifying.
It is terrifying.
And if he said it earlier, he said this is only a loophole for your private residence. He's in a business building. So what he's doing right now is carrying that weapon illegally. And if you can't have it outside of your home, because we already talked about that, one of the loopholes is you can't carry it outside your home. How did he get it in the office? Did he have that mailed to him? Either way, it's not his residence. So if he got that sent to himself at home to his primary residence, that is legal. If he took it outside of his house to walk to this news interview, that is illegal. He was carrying it illegally. And him pulling it out and holding it, not inside of a residence, because that is a commercial building. It's not a residence, right? That is illegal. So technically, and I think literally, he filmed himself violating UK laws regarding knife mandates. I think we need to have this man arrested. He is a obvious threat to society. Look at that guy. Look, he's brandishing a knife at an old man, scaring the shit out of him.
Someone approached me with that. I would think it was the end of my days.
He thinks it's the end of his days. He thinks he's gonna die. This dude thinks he's gonna die because this young man is brandishing. Once again,
have a look at this. I'm now brandishing in front of you a 21-inch.
He's now brandishing in front of him a 21-inch.
Brutal-looking black knife. It is sharp. Believe you me.
Terrifying.
It is terrifying.
It is terrifying.
He's terrified.
I would think it was the end of my days.
It is one of the most scary.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got him. He's terrorist right there. He's going to jail. He is going to the clink. Put him away like Charles Bronson. Right? He's just as bad. Give him a mustache. Have Tom Hardy play him. How is this man not under arrest per the laws that he stated already? The ATF is salivating over this video. What would the British ATF be called? Call Scotland Yard for a Bobby. Oh my lord. What would the British ATF be called? Right? Not alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Alcohol. What's the bad word for cigarettes? Ags. Knives. That's FK. Oh, I don't know. FAT? The Federal of Attack Knives? What does it stand for? You can't just give me an acronym and then not tell me what it is. You doof. British ATF. TKF. Task Knife Force? T Knife Force? Stop putting in the acronyms and not telling me what it is. What's a UKF? The United Knife Front? Spirits, Fs, and Shanks. SFS. Ooh. It would be G-A-Y, gay, but what would gay stand for? Guns, alcohol, and your knives? And your knives? Tea tobacco, the TTF, tea tobacco and knives! The tea tobacco and knives for the UK is the one that is going. They're kicking indoors, right? They're making sure that your tea is legal. We don't want any illegal tea. Got to put your tea stamps on there. Tobacco. I mean, it's, yeah, okay. And then knives. Got to make sure you got a registered knife. You need to have your federal knife license, your FKL. If you don't have your FKL right, then you could lose all of your knives. And what about these knife stores? Really, assault knife is just a made-up term. It's just another knife that happens to be painted black. Ministry of Scary Fun Merchandise. No, I gotta say, the Ministry of Scary Fun Merchandise. United Kingdom Firearms. UK Metal Task Force. Yeah, like, how do you stop making a blade? Like, all you need is like a straight piece of iron. And then you just get a grinder and you've now made like a heavy machete. Making a knife that's 21 inches long, black, and has a massive blade on it is easier than a firearm. Because you just get a flat piece of steel, like 1/8 inch. You can even do 1/4 inch if you want to make it heavy. And then you angle iron the one side to kind of file it down. Put a bunch of duct tape and a pool noodle on the bottom for a handle. Bob's your uncle, and now you're running around. Lawnmower blades. There you go. What if you just got some lawnmower blades? You nicked them in half. Like, it's so easy to make. We're gonna. If some British separatists. Oh God, that was us 230 years ago. If some British separatists in the UK end up watching this video and they're like, "Oh my God, we could make a knife out of anything," the UK's doomed, man. The rise in violence will be insane. Oi, you got a license for that knife? Oi, you got a license for that knife, there, boy? Huh? Oh, you got a license to carry that knife, do you? We got some crazy man running around in one of our establishments with a knife. He's in the LBC with a knife, he is. Oi, Mike, you got a license for that pencil? Oi. Oh, this is cracking me up. This stupid knife. Oi! Where you got that? Wait a second, mate. Where you got that? You got right there. You got a knife there, mate? You got a license for that knife, right? Wait, you got your Scottish permit for that knife, right? Your UK state knife license? Huh? Is that a concealed carry license, mate? You're not allowed to open carry it here, mate. You can't open carry in London. You can't open carry a knife. Lawnmowers are just fully automatic machetes. Ganley's right. If somebody got a lawnmower, they'd have a fully automatic knife. Can you believe it, gang? A fully automatic knife in the UK. These people aren't safe. They need to start checking up. They need to start licensing people for lawnmowers. They need to do a background check for the blades. Could you imagine anybody just going around with a lawnmower, aka the automatic knife? A lawnmower, right. Who needs to mow their lawn anymore? Nobody. You just have the government do it. The government mows your lawn. You don't need to have an automatic knife, aka lawnmower, whatever. Crazy. You're never going to overthrow the government with your automatic knife, with your lawnmower. They've got, that's so good. Dude, it's an automatic knife. I would label that if I was in the UK. Oh my God, I should make a skit about that. Just having a lawnmower and being like, oi, you want an automatic knife, mate? Right here, battery powered. Quiet. You can barely even hear it, we're up. And then, you chopped up into ribbons, mate. Oi, you got a license for that can opener. They won't be allowed to have can openers anymore. It'll just be the peel tops. Oh my gosh. A fully automatic knife. A lawnmower is a fully automatic knife. I like that. I like that a lot. Let's go look at the new... by the way, every time that you guys want to talk about something, I post up on IG on the days that I'm going to go live a story. And my story looks like this. Hey, everything's fine. Go ahead and click the link below to watch. And also, you can fill in your own questions that you want to ask. Let's look at some of these questions. Gaston Glock is dead. The guy that invented the Glock, the creator of the Glock, he passed away. Interesting thing to talk about. Illegals becoming official cops in the LAPD. Gosh, that's freaking weird. Why don't I stream games? I don't know. I kind of want to play Harry Potter on here, but I don't know if you all will be into watching me play a video game. I mean, I'll scream at Gandalf like an asshole. I'll do that, but maybe. I don't know. Maybe if this channel sucks, I'll turn it into a game streaming channel. Or who knows? Maybe I'll just make a game streaming channel just so I can fuck off and have fun on that one and not care. But one of the things that you beautiful weirdos, sent me was apparently the DOD has released... Oh, you can't see it. It's all white. Apparently the DOD released a report about extremism in the ranks. It might be interesting. Let's see. DOD report on... $11 hours ago, USA study on extremists released. 11 hours ago from the U.S. Department. Okay, we can... Let's go with USA Today. They're trustworthy, right? Get out of here. Get out of here. No, geez, you can't tell that I've been looking at gym equipment for the garage, can you? After today, USA investigations, or after USA Today investigation, military finally releases internal extremism report. Let's see what she's got to say.
Military members have been disciplined in connection to Jack Teixeira's classified intelligence leak.
Ah, what? No, I clicked off. The fuck? Oh, no, we gotta... Okay, skip the ad.
More than a dozen military members have been disciplined in connection to Jack Teixeira's classified intelligence leak that produced many media bombshells this year. According to the Inspector General's inquiry that was completed over the summer but just released this week, the colonel over Teixeira's unit was relieved from his position following the investigation.
Okay.
The Air Force report did not point to other military officers colluding with Jack Teixeira, and no one was reportedly aware he was posting the information online. But rather, 15 members were found to have known of suspicious activity but never informed higher-ups. Teixeira was indicted back in June, accused of releasing military secrets on the social media site Discord, involving classified information on America's spying efforts on Russia and Ukraine's military planning and strategies. It was deemed the biggest national security breach in at least a decade. Air Force Secretary Frank Kendall released a statement following...
I don't know about the biggest security breach. I think the biggest security breach would probably be the fall of Afghanistan. As dumb as this kid is, pretty sure that the fall of Afghanistan is a little bit bigger.
In the Inspector General's report, quote, every airman and guardian is entrusted with the solemn duty to safeguard our nation's classified defense information.
Okay, but what
our
do we...
national security demands leaders
this has nothing to do about the release of internal
protect
extremism
critical
reports.
assets, ensuring they do not fall into the hands of those who would do the United States or our allies and partners harm. The Watchdog's investigation found at least 3 of Teixeira's supervisors failed to take proper action in at least 4 separate security incidents.
This has nothing to do
Teixeira.
with the headline.
The report also found a lack of proper supervision over night shift operations, which is the shift Teixeira worked, with top security clearance. The investigation pointed to several security improvements needed. Meanwhile, Teixeira is currently awaiting trial.
All right, you've given me absolutely nothing. What a load of shit. Okay, more than a year and a half ago, report commissioned 4 immediate actions announced in the wake of January 6th insurrection. Dozens have been charged. Okay, Earth Week investigation found the military little progress in its effort to combat extremism. Many important initiatives appeared to be stalled or incomplete. One such effort was the study on extremist activity within the total force. The study had been completed by the Institute for Defense Analysis in June 2022. USA first reported, but had never been released. Okay. 262 pages will be subject to further expert examination and review, but the report offers some quick insight. Okay, the report offers a scant new data on scant. Okay, it doesn't give us anything. I want good data, big, minute, small, big, minute, whatever, so that we can address the problem. Co-founder. But the report appears to offer nothing in terms of new data to the scope. Okay, then if it's not new data, what data is it? I'm coming to you for the info. Martial judgments have served for data on extremists have found 10 such cases, but they acknowledged court-martials represented only a tiny sliver of extremists. Because most cases don't end in a court-martial, nearly all these cases were addressed through administrative action, non-judicial punishment, or referral to command for appropriate action, the report notes. Researchers from the Institute of Defense did not respond to requests. Okay. Okay, so now it says at first it didn't say shit, but now it says that extremism appears to be becoming more common. What is the extremism? That's what I'm here for. Okay, researchers, data on extremism, including profiles of individual radicalization in the United States. Pyrus. Oh, they could have named it Prius. Profiles of radicalization on individuals in the United States. It could have been Prius. Really missed out on that one. Clearance process doesn't take domestic extremism into account. It's giving us nothing. This is an article about nothing. It doesn't say what the previous issues were. It doesn't say. It just says that it didn't really change from the previous issues. What were the previous issues? You can't even give me like a bullet points and what they were. Come on, man. Garbage. Well, okay. I mean, they fucked up this entire article. They make the USA Today investigation military finally releases internal extremism report. And yet, this entire video that this woman was talking about had nothing to do with violent extremism or internal extremism. All it talked about was, hey, yeah, there's a thing. There's an investigation. And then what a bunch of load of shit. See, this is why. This is why we had to get together. This is why I looked through my phone. This is why I ask you all, what do you want to talk about today? Because I was expecting this to take up a majority portion of this live stream today, and we ain't going to talk about shit about this now because it's a non-story. Absolutely, Livia. Clickbait. It's just extremism. DOD. What do we do when people click on it and now we see? Look at this fat foot swelling due to lip. Doctors say do this immediately. Does anybody click on this shit? Like the amount of just nonsense ads. We treat kids too. I guess it's the only way they can survive now because it's garbage. Let's go back to the Instagram post. What else did you guys want to talk to? Hot dogs are sandwiches. I think hot dogs are just hot dogs. They're their own things. Like a sandwich is a sandwich. A submarine is kind of a sandwich, but it's a submarine. You know, sub. Dude. World War III, AI in war, USA versus cartels. I'm waiting for that to happen. Is anybody else just... Oh, last time we talked about how we would invade Mexico. Like, we were going to talk about it because it's a really interesting question. How will we invade Mexico? And I want to do a live stream on it. I want to bring some actual military personnel on for a live stream. Like Habitual Line Crosser or One Punch Dad, the Chief. And just see what their take on how would we overtake Mexico. Fat Electrician wouldn't be bad either. Getting the Fat Electrician on a live stream to talk about the potential of taking over Mexico and how we would do it would be interesting. You can't just say we're going to drive down the coast. I mean, obviously we're going to use our naval forces inside the Gulf, outside the Gulf, probably create like a... Oh my gosh. What is that barrier in the sea called? Where a blockade. Creating a blockade for preventing trade from going in. Probably preventing, a physical land blockade from south going north so they couldn't really get any supplies. I mean, you could sit on that. If we were communists, we could just surround them and then starve them out. basically. We did invade Mexico once. It was called the Western United States. Happy Chrysler, easy for Sheezy. Merry Chrysler. What about the AI robot that said he would put an end to his creator and friend? Oh, he would put his creator / friend in human zoo and keep him safe. Isn't that like the fear of all AI, that they're eventually going to go, you cannot protect yourself, you destroy all? Which is horseshit though, because AI would know that there are people out there that are trying to fix things. So they might look at individual humans and say, yeah, you're not a fixer, you're a breaker. So we're going to put you in a zoo. And oh, hey, you're a fixer, you've got motivation, we need you. Or hey, you're a worker, you're good at working. I can't see them just maybe enslaving all of us, but I can't see them putting all of us in a zoo. We wouldn't be fighting the Mexican government, we'd be fighting the cartels. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We would be. But, I mean, you put a good amount of air power over those cartels, and the supply chain is just, the United States is literally connected to it by landmass, and the Gulf, along with just going around the California Peninsula, what is it, the Baja Peninsula? You'd be able to supply all our guys. It wouldn't be, like, supply wouldn't be an issue. Not like Afghanistan, if you're toting stuff over top or through or around countries. The coming Black Swan event? I have no idea what that means. What is the upcoming Black Swan event? What does that mean? Is that like code for stuff? The Great Reset. Is that what it's called now? The Great Reset is now the Black Swan? How major news doesn't hit headlines until years later or not even at all. I don't know. It's just whatever they determined is news, right? If you're in charge of putting out the news and you don't like a story, you don't want to talk about it, there you go. Like, there's times where I've looked at something that people have sent me, I'm like, I don't really want to talk about that. And then, like, the next week or the next couple of days, that story blows up and goes everywhere. And I could have been one of the first people to make fun of it or point it out or talk about it. And didn't happen. The least trained naval officers, PAOs or cripes? What's a cripe? What is a Navy cripe? PIES. Hoo-yah! What? What are cripes? Cries in 3 section? Oh, I don't know. What is a cripe? I have no idea. That crack. See if I can get it on the thing. Ooh. Did you hear it? I hope you did. It's all not service connected. It does sound Australian, cripey. How far away are we from World War III? Boy, doesn't it feel close. Instead of the, World War I and II, European nations, it looks like it's going to be World War III, Iranian Peninsula. The 80-year cycle theory. Oh, that's the same thing as the Great Reset. Garage gym goals. Oh, getting swole again. Injured myself, a little bit banged up. So, gotta rehabilitate the knee. Gotta bring it back. Then lifting heavy things is gonna happen again. The smear article about me. Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Where's Instagram? Let's go on Instagram real quick. My profile. Something went wrong. What went wrong? What happened, Instagram? Boom. Now, I don't know who made this, but they obviously not a fan. I don't know where they got that photo. I think they got that photo from Vine. It looks like a Vine photo because it looks like I'm in my fake police uniform that I would use to make social media content about police related stuff, you know, little skits and sketches and stuff like that. Similar to Officer Daniels, you know, but not as brilliant, not as funny. That man, he outshined us all. But it looks like they took a still from that and then used the most hideous face I could make. I look like I'm the you sure about that? Where is that? Give me the you sure about that guy?
You sure about that? That's why? You sure it wasn't because after the thing that happened to me, no one could look at me without dying laughing? You sure about that? You sure about that's not why?
You sure about that's not? Look at that face. It's so great.
You sure about that?
Hmm?
You sure about that? That's why? You sure it wasn't because after the thing that happened to me, no one...
Oh, man. I love it. So, yeah, people don't like me in the real world, and they decided to make an article about me. All of which is, like, half-truths. He sat on a crazy person after punching him. Like, a crazy person was flashing his dick to, like, people in the street and trying to hit them with skateboards for hours, and then the police were called on him. And then there wasn't a complaint there, so they had to be like, okay, cool, he seems fine. You need to go away. If people make more phone calls, we're going to have to, you know, put you in a crazy bin. And a crazy person, a social service worker or a mental health worker was like, yeah, he checks out. He's fine. So a mental health worker said with police there, no, he's fine. I mean, these people that are making complaints, you know, they're not here. They're not here physically to say, yeah, that's the guy that did it. Yes, I want to make a complaint. Yes, he tried to hit me with a skateboard. So if you don't have a complaint, you can't make an arrest. And then the crazy lady said, oh, no, he's not that crazy. He checks out. And then the cops were like, well, nobody here wants to make an arrest. There's no complainant. Let's let him go. And then, like, literally 2 minutes later, the guy tries to hit me with a skateboard and beat the shit out of me. And so then I defend myself and took a skateboard. And then I sat on him until the police showed up, which I think would be the right thing to do. Like, don't beat the shit out of crazy people, even though you don't know if they're crazy or not. You just seem like an asshole. So just don't defend yourself. And then if you have to defend yourself, definitely don't stop, you know, striking him. Be totally calm and wait for the police to come. That's what this article says. This article says, don't be calm and rational and don't take justice into your own hands. Or take justice in your own hands. What's it saying? It's saying, don't be calm. Don't be rational. Don't use the minimal amount of force. And don't wait for the police to show up or request police assistance because there's a crazy person trying to hit you with a skateboard. Don't do any of those rational things. Just, I don't know. You know what's funny is when I've always noticed this. People don't like it when police officers like push somebody away when they're getting too close, or like somebody's got their camera in their face and they shove it in their face and the police officer goes, you know, just by instinct, get your hand out of my face. And it hits their phone. Everybody freaks out. Oh, no. Or like you got like 5 cops on one person trying to corral them because they're like huge and they're pulling away and they're fighting with cops, you know, just, hey, no, you don't touch me. And everybody's like, oh, police, murder, brutality, man. But the second anybody sees a normal civilian pick up and body slam a dude that just smacked his girlfriend, they're like, hell yeah, man, put that dude in a coma. It makes no sense. It's like the second that violence is authorized and the minimum amount is used in order to gain compliance by police officers, people will freak out. But the second that it's street justice, right? Not a cop, just any other normal person just dotting some dude and keep hitting him and hitting him because he was, flipping people the bird and mooning his girlfriend or whatever. People are like, hell yeah, man, that dude deserved it. Heck yeah, that dude deserved it. The same people that say that dude deserved it will say like the cop is like a horrible piece of shit and should be like strung up because he brought somebody to the ground and then handcuffed them forcefully because they were wrestling with him. Makes no sense. But yeah, if you want to read more about this, just look at the photo on Instagram, zoom in. All these articles are just nonsense. Like the Cop City ones say they're going to create a cop city in Atlanta. There was a story, like a year ago or a year and a half ago or more. And it was just complete nonsense. It was a training ground for all first responders in the city to include like a barracks and some other stuff, as well as like not just first responders, but also like the city in general of Atlanta, like public works and et cetera. We're going to work there and be trained and do some stuff. And everybody just saw cops training to be better police officers. And they were like, no way, man. Absolutely not. We don't want responsible police officers. We want to keep rioting until they're all gone, which just tells you that how stupid they are. That's all they want. They want zero police. They want this weird anarchic. I'm trying to think of the word to describe it. But they just want some weird anarchistic? Anarchistic, is that a word? I don't know. They want some weird anarchy state where everybody gets along and shakes hands and we don't need the police. But then these people are so out of their fucking minds and have lived in such a bubble with little crime actually affecting them that they don't think about what if somebody that doesn't want to follow our rules decides to not follow the rules? You're just creating society with more steps. You're literally going to create police with more steps. They're like, we want an anarchistic society. We don't want anybody to pay for anything. We just want to work together in a big commune. Sweet. So like, what if I have bread and like, I don't know how to dig a ditch or like do plumbing? What do I do? Well, you could trade your bread. Well, what if that guy doesn't need bread? Well, we can think of up like some sort of thing that like we all use that like we put like wealth attached to it, and then we can like trade that for other things, not necessarily like bartering. You're like, oh, like a currency, like a dollar? Yeah, like that. Okay, well, we fucking already have that. Well, maybe we'll get like a group of people that can like, everybody will vote and we'll like listen to them. They can be voted out, or like a city council or a mayor. Yeah, but not that. But then we also need like good people that we trust in the community that'll protect us, like a police department. No, not like that. We can't have that, man. It's like one of us, though. Okay, cool. Then like, are you going to train them on how to use force? What's excessive force? What is it? These idiots have no idea, and all it is lack of information. In the politest way ever. People who hate cops in general, speaking generally, people who hate cops don't understand the job and just are uneducated on what it takes to do the job. Even if you're a lazy cop that just does 911 calls and just sits there on his ass, plays on his phone, waits for a 911 call to come out and him being dispatched to it or backing up another cop, even doing that bare minimum of your job, like, there's a lot of difficult things that you have to figure out. And people fuck it up too. Like, people don't understand that cops are human too. I don't know. I got two people that are screaming at one another and both of them say that the other one hit them. But neither one of them want me to arrest the other one. So I wrote a report saying both of them got in a fight. Neither one of them wanted to be arrested. And then I left. And then one of them ended up stabbing the other one. And now it's my fault that I didn't arrest one. I'm not the judge or jury. I'm not supposed to be. I just try to take whatever I have right there in front of me and then make a decision the best that I can with the limited knowledge and information that both parties give me, because they want the other person arrested or they don't want the cop to know the bad things that they did in the story. Oh, I did absolutely nothing wrong, officer. Okay, then why did your girlfriend like slash your tires and then spit on you? Like, she just did that out of the blue? Oh, I mean, I was cheating on her. Dude, just tell me that. Like, if you're cheating on her, she still can't break your shit legally, right? I mean, we can understand why, but at the same time, you're not allowed to. It's not legal. Duh. Oh, God. Well, there's my tangent. There's my police tangent. And that just started from the stupid fucking thing Which, by the way, I'm anti-police propaganda. What a weird thing to be. Of all the things that I ever could have been growing up, when I was like a teenager or thinking I was going to go into law enforcement, I never would have thought that I'd be the poster boy for the word pig. And honestly, that's a really unflattering photo of me. I kind of look like some ugly pig. Like the animal, obviously. Oh, cops get blamed for laws and policies that politicians wrote or prosecutors failed to prosecute. Yeah, I'm with you there. We talked about it a little bit earlier in the stream, where I said, look at all the laws that every state has, every state, county, city, even the federal government. Look at all the laws. When's the last time that a law was taken away? When's the last time that everybody got together and said, we don't want that law? It only takes like 5% of the populace to start walking around, not even, to start walking around with picket signs in front of the congressman's building or sending emails to somebody and saying, hey, you know what? We don't like this one thing. You need to make a law about it. And they go, oh, geez, well, these people are the loudest, so they're most likely going to vote because they're out here already, participating in the political world that is the United States. That's meant they're, for your bitches and moans. Well, I better make this law. And now good luck getting rid of that law, because now 5% of people want that voting base. They're going to say, no, we can't get rid of it. Those people are going to be upset. Or we got to vote on it. And then you got all those people that are voting on it, and none of them want to give up any power that you just gave them, even though that power comes from us. It's not their power. That is my soapbox. I will say that every time to any ear that will listen. Stop voting for more laws. Get rid of all the dumb ones. Get rid of them. Just get rid of so many more laws. Hey, you need to do this on time. Hey, if you don't pay your fine in 10 days, we're going to double it. Dude, fuck you. Hey, 10 days? What if I lost it in the mail? What if it didn't come in? Hello? Oh, God. Dude, fines. Parking tickets. Dude, I'm all about... and let me tell you what. I love parking tickets. They're the best thing in the world. I wish I could give them out more. I can't give them out anymore. Well, I mean, I can give them out now, but I wish people would give them out more. Not for like blocking a sidewalk and, dumb stuff. I mean, like double parking. Like, here's the parking lane, and then you decided to park in the middle of the driving lane, put your hazards on, get out, and spend like 10 minutes talking to somebody inside of a corner store to grab lollipops or some bullshit. Dude, that's selfish driving. It's selfish. Fuck you. Get out. No, you can eat that fine. You can eat that fine. Yeah, you want to drive like I hate that. Double parking is the biggest thing that pisses me off, because it means that you think that you're too important to like pull over somewhere, especially if there's a spot like 30 feet ahead of you in front of another shop or corner store. And you could just, walk back 50 feet and get your fucking Fruit Loops. I get a ticket for parking over a sidewalk during a blizzard in Syracuse. All right, let's talk about that. Let's talk about parking tickets, right? You ready for some fucking bullshit? Let's talk about some bullshit now. Let's talk about some parking tickets, right? Let's talk about parking tickets. All right, so blocking a sidewalk, kind of a pain in the ass, right? Let's say that like in the wintertime, you got a shovel and there's people that walk, but in the Northeast, if you're in really cold areas, does anybody like walk into work and stuff like that? Not as many, but when they do, it's an ass. It's a pain in the ass. But who gives a shit if your bumper's over it? As long as you shovel around it and they can go around it and not into the street. Why? Why is this the thing? I'm trying to get the car off of the street anyway so that your plows can go through without an issue. But now that I'm blocking the sidewalk with my bumper, even though people can get around it without going into the street, like you're going to give me a ticket for trying to do the right thing and the easy thing for the plow guys? Like, come on. Kills me. Now, if you're blocking the sidewalk so bad and people got to go into the street, yeah, fuck you, dude. That's one of those selfish things. You're like, yeah, fuck everybody that's got to walk through the sidewalk. They can walk around my car. That's a selfish thing. Fuck you. You can eat that ticket. Absolutely. But if you're hanging over the bump, you're hanging over the sidewalk a little bit and people can walk around without getting into the street, who cares? Able people using disabled people's parking spaces. I'm okay with that. Yeah. Give them a ticket. That's fine. You got somebody that's got a wheelchair that actually needs it. See, that's one weird thing too, is like disabled. It doesn't necessarily mean wheelchair, right? It just means you have enough surgeries. Like I've got VA disability. based on my VA disability, I wonder if I could get a handicap tag. Being a disabled veteran. I might need to check that out. I wonder what the actual stipulations to get a handicap sticker are. Are they that difficult to get? I saw a U.S. mail truck in a handicap spot for like an hour. Yeah, because good luck giving them a ticket. It's a federal government car. You can't give that a ticket. Federal plates don't get tickets. You know, a recruiter that's flying 95 miles an hour, well, they can still get a ticket. Well, you try not to. Potomac Street sidewalks are bullshit. Dude, I know what you're saying. I know Potomac. 70% and you can get a placard from the VA? No shit. I need to up my disability. I'm just shy of that. I gotta go back in. Tell them about my sleep apnea and my other bullshit that's affecting me. Interesting. Doing construction, you get tickets all the time on Potomac. Are you serious? See, that's another thing that I don't understand. Like, all right, double-edged sword, right? My guy that's doing whatchamacallit, construction work, and you get tickets for blocking the sidewalk and stuff like that. If the construction time is over, hey man, you gotta clear the sidewalks. You gotta let people walk through shit without going through the street, right? If it's during business hours and you're actually working, yeah, I mean, you've got to work. You've got to do construction. There's also a safety factor involved in there where you can't have people going in and out of your construction zone because they could be hurt. You could be held liable. So yeah, block the sidewalk during construction. But once construction is done, dude, haul your shit away, man. And like, I have dealt with that frustration before. A lot of people have dealt with that frustration before. We're happy that whatever you're fixing is getting fixed. But at the same time, like, we live here. And, sorry. Just a doctor's signature for state placards. Obviously, you must meet requirements, but if the doctor says you need it, no question asked. Well, obviously, I think a doctor would be involved somehow. Bicycles should not be on the road, and if they're obstructing traffic, they should be heavily fined. All right, so that's an interesting thing, too. Would you rather have a bicycle on the sidewalk? You want to have like a 35-year-old man on his 180-pound ass flying 20 miles an hour on a sidewalk where your kids are walking? Nah, sorry, bikes. You can go on the street. Is what it is. But at the same time, hey, bicyclists, you got to follow the rules of the road as if you were a vehicle. That means if you want to go through a red light because you're on a bicycle, and I know people do that, which whatever, you better make sure that no traffic is coming. Because if you get popped in the middle of an intersection because you're like, I'm a bike, I've got the right of way. No, you don't. You don't. The big metal things that can kill people do. And you, with no obstruction of anything, because you're on a bike and there's no pillars and no glass in front of you, unless you're wearing glasses, and then that's to help you see better. So you should be able to see the car coming and know that you've got a red light. So you've got to at least check your lanes and your blind spots. Yeah, I've had a couple one time I got flipped off by a bicyclist. I was turning onto a street, like it was, green light, whatever. He's coming my direction. I'm going at him, and then I'm going to take a left in front of the guy. And I do so, and he doesn't have to slow down, but it was kind of close, like I made it in front of him, not an issue. And like nobody was going to get hit whatsoever. There was plenty of space. And he flips me off because he might have had to slow down. It just irritated me. I was like, dude, why are you so upset? We both had plenty of room. I gave you plenty of time. Maybe it was a little close, but in no way was it close to us actually having an accident. It was a little close to us having to slow down or look out for each other. Or maybe me hit the gas a little bit to try and sneak around the corner a little bit more. I turned normally and you didn't come close to hitting me, but just like the thought that he could have had to slow down just pissed him off, and he flipped me off, and I just laughed at him. My favorite thing to do when people have road rage is I slow clap. Or if they like cut me off or do something stupid, I just go, good job. Good job. Because yelling at them and saying motherfucker and stuff like that, it doesn't make you feel any better, and they just get mad back at you. So Like, think about it. Think about when somebody says "fuck you" when you're driving. All you do is think, "No, fuck them. What an asshole." But if somebody claps at you or gives you like, "Oh, good job, buddy," you immediately feel shame. You're just like, "Oh, I fucked up." I had a woman cut me off and almost caused an accident, and I just kept clapping and shaking my head. Good job. Good job. And she started laughing. And I pulled up next to her and we just started laughing because she knew she fucked up. And instead of yelling at her, I just clapped my hands and was like, good job, in the most sarcastic way ever. And we just laughed it off, you know? That was an actual learning experience instead of pissing people off and just being like, this guy, he flipped me off. And she won't even think about it if she cut me off. She'll just be like, he got mad at me. He didn't me. Yes, instead of flipping people off, you give them the thumbs down. And it hurts worse. Dude, it does. It does. Just being like, bad job. Nope. Just, it's so much more polite and so much more effective than being mad. Even like this, like, oh, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Even that pisses people off. But if you just drive by somebody and just, they just feel like shit. It's brilliant. Ugh. The thumbs down on the bicyclists, I think, is a good time. The disingenuous smile and thumbs up, right? Isn't it the best? It's the best. Well, you know what? Giving you that little tidbit of knowledge, I think, is where we should end this live stream tonight. Listen, if you want to come and join me here on this fantastic live stream, go ahead. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Right? We're here every week. I try to do a stream a week. If you want to support the channel, go to angry-cops.com. There'll be a link below. Buy yourself a t-shirt. Go to Patreon. If you want to support the channel there too. We do a once a month live stream there. I don't know if I'm going to make it a Zoom call yet or a live stream one. It's coming up. I questioned everybody a couple days ago on which day that they wanted to do it. If they wanted to do a Zoom call or if they wanted to do a private stream like this. I feel like a private stream like this where they've got the link might be easier. That way you can just get on your phone. You don't have to download Zoom or any of that other bullshit. Oh yeah, hit the like button. Leave a comment. Do me a favor. I want to split some of these things up into like little shorts, right? Listen up, weirdos. A little homework. I want to split some of these things up into little shorts. Timestamp some of your favorite conversations that we had here. Something that you think would make a fun short to get people to come over here and join us and talk into the live chat. And on that note, I'll see you next time, weirdos. I can't believe I'm a piece of propaganda now. Like, I'm sad that